Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me on this edition of the Service Impact Podcast, where we help service businesses sift through all the noise to better understand the truth about today's marketing and advertising strategies, tactics, and emerging technologies. On today's podcast, we're going to be talking about elevating your event with video, while also getting assets that are going to contribute to marketing and communications efforts long after the event is over. And today I'm being joined by the Director of Video Production and Photography for our mothership, Outside Communications, Rachel Koehler. Rachel, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Lance?
I am awesome. And events, we do a lot of events, and we've been doing a lot of events for a really long time. There's a lot to consider.
There is a lot.
And it's a big, long list. You've got all these people coming in. It's got to look good. It's got to pop off, as my kids would say. And there is just a whole lot to consider before you even get started. Why don't we start from the beginning? I want to do an event. I want to do it in Los Angeles. It's remote. People are going to be coming in from all over the country. Rachel, where do we start?
Well, consider, is this something where you need to inform people about the event ahead of time?
You will definitely need to let people know. We've got customers to let them know what's going on. We want an amazing attendance because this is a huge customer event for us. It is the one time a year where we're able to bring everybody in, show them value, bring them up to date on the latest technology or the latest information in our industry, and it's kind of a big deal. So yes, we're gonna want them to have plenty of advance notice so that they can block their calendars for this. So
for that part of it, I'm thinking of examples of customers we've worked with, and one customer, I was working in collaboration with their full marketing team. So they have a full in-house marketing team, and their strategy is what I would call a sort of a trickle campaign. So we actually made a series of, I think it was like 7 different pieces. So we get on people's social channels with a 15-second video highlighting a value aspect of the event. And so there's this little 15-second video popping up on their social channels. Hey, this is happening. Learn more about this. Or, just providing a really good value proposition. And then the next week, there's another video with a different aspect about the event. And we do these trickle things. And then an email goes out with a, 30-second video thing linked in the email. And so thinking about what are the avenues to reach people in the different places that they live digitally, email, social channels, and all those different places. So really pre-event promotional material, but also invitations, right? So it's informing, but also inviting them. And then, hey, once they've signed up, this one, again, depending on the event, right? All of this depends on who is being invited to the event. Is this a mandatory thing for it's an internal event, or is this like, no, we're inviting customers hoping people come? So yeah, I guess there's the promotion side and the invitation side to consider, and how much advance notice do you want to give people? Do you want to put out a save the date? Like that's another scenario we've had. We put out a save the date before we even fully know what the event is. We just know the dates. It's like, let's get this on the customer's calendar because in your example, people need to travel. And so you're like, hey, save the date. This is kind of generally where we'll be at. More info coming soon. Boom. And that can be a social post or it can be a video, depending on where it lives and how it needs to be used.
And we've even seen some customers utilize all of what you just mentioned to get the word out. But also they've stood up landing pages or even full websites to accommodate the event. And video can actually live there as well as kind of an over video for the event, kind of a hype.
And that's honestly where I would lean on more of the outside communications team outside of myself to say, hey, I got the video piece covered. What do you think about this ecosystem of
right.
how we reach out to people? So
The team.
I'm all about team.
Yeah, I know you are, and you're great at that. So getting, I mean, you're talking, I mean, you just ripped off, I don't know, if we count the landing page, we just did what, 7 videos?
Yeah, but again, they're pretty small, simple, and can use certain repeatable elements.
So
too.
so repeatable elements, in other words, you've probably got an opening and you've got a tag that you're recycling, and then there's essentially, I mean, when you're doing an event, I mean, there's essentially a branding exercise that happens out of the gate, whether it's done by an internal team or whether it's done by our team, where you're brainstorming themes and you're brainstorming language and things like that. So so a lot of this stuff is laid out beforehand, to where you're able to just kind of pull from this collection of, I mean, consider it event brand assets.
Yeah, that's an interesting, okay, I'm thinking about another customer. We promoted an event for them when they had 0 assets. They didn't know the theme of the event.
I think I'm remembering.
You know where I'm going with this.
I think there's been a few of those, though.
Okay, yeah. I have one specific in mind where we made a really cool little animation announcing kind of a save the date for the event with some stock footage of the city, like iconic things in that city where the event was being held. And that was a save the date. We filmed footage at that event. The following year for the same event, the promo was way more specific and dynamic, showing shots of people at the event and what it's like and just the energy and all that. And that came into the promo for the following year. So the second year they did the event, the promo was a lot more interesting and eye-catching.
All right. So we've got, let me ask you this. How much we get to the event? We've gotten everybody there because the videos are so rad. Okay.
I would like to take credit that the reason people come is the video.
It was the videos.
Of course.
It was the welcome videos. They've all shown up. We're there. It seems like there's quite a bit of opportunity now that we've got not just employees, customers. We've got a lot of people in one place. How are we going to take advantage of it?
Oh my goodness, this is one of my favorite parts, and I've loved over the last several years collaborating with some really brilliant customers that have even helped me expand vision for what things could be. And I think one thing to think about in looking at this is nowadays in events, you have a flood of people come in, you open the doors, everybody's on their phone or they're looking for the bathroom. So there's like these 2 aspects.
I didn't know that was an event thing.
It totally is. You watch people they're like, oh, I don't want to be here, and they're just on their phone, or they're like, where's the bathroom? And those are your 2 people, right? And it's like, those are the 2 people you want to capture. You want to get their attention and immerse them into the event. You want them jazzed to be there, fully. You want their mind with you. You don't want their mind elsewhere. And one aspect of capturing them is video. And we've done this in such just really cool ways in events, where instead of just say a fabric pop-up banner, right? You walk in the doors, there's a hallway, there's the banners. Instead, taking screens and digitizing what's going on the walls. And I mean, one customer we were looking at pricing for, he was looking at the cost of buying a pop-up banner or just buying a big HD TV screen. Those have gotten insanely cheap. And you take the TV screen, you turn it sideways, and then you design videos for that vertical thing. And it no longer feels like just a video, but it's a digital banner of sorts. And that is just eye-catching to people when there's movement happening. So not only do you walk in and there's the event logo and maybe a thematic image, but you have video clips. You have the logo actually animating and moving in. And so you are making people feel immersed into a different environment in a way that you can't when you don't have a digital space around you. So I would say really immersing people is one aspect. There's more. Should I continue? Or
I love it. And I mean, that's just walking in.
Yeah.
That's just walking in. And, oh, by the way, that those visual experiences that people are having might also be accompanied by messaging. In other words, I'm thinking about some of the projects we've done over the years, and it'll go from something that's kind of brand associated with the event, branding work that's been done around the event, to the day's schedule, and then on to maybe an event that's happening in the evening or something like that that's promoting for people to show up to there's been all sorts of after hours events that we've promoted over the years, but you can kind of create an experience in these screens, and some hotels or event centers actually have them built in.
Just so great. Which
is great. But the idea that you're talking about is like, hey, for $250, we can grab, 4 of these things and have them sitting in various areas and, kind of contribute to just a different environment that's kind of popping. And I'm going to add to your workload, because in a 2 or 3 day event, you need 2 or 3 versions of those.
I would argue you need more like 6.
Oh, so because a morning?
Mm-hmm. So you walk in, the screen has the event branding, and then it flips to a schedule for the day. Everyone really wants to know the schedule at the beginning of the day. And then it pops up an arrow pointing towards registration this way.
Oh, nice.
Things
and
like
this is
that.
all video.
This is all video. It's beautiful. And sometimes you could have an array of like 3 screens
so you can actually position where these screens live, because that arrow is directionally needs to. So you actually will show up to event sites and pre-walk through all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. And one scenario that I'm thinking of, like at some of these higher end venues we've worked with, they will have a 3D environment online. So I'll just go to their website and I'll virtually walk through and be like, okay, on that video, the arrow needs to point left or right or, whatever it is, because we can do a virtual walkthrough and know where the screens will be positioned. And then, as long as we have our, what's the resolution of the screen? How do we need to shape it? What video codecs? All those techie stuff it's just very fun. But so after that, say the middle of the day, you have your screens have a different look. It says like lunch break, and then it'll say next session begins in at X time, 1:30, and there's a value there of everybody at an event loses their little pamphlet with their schedule, or just like, oh, what's next? What do I need to do? I can't remember. But you use the screens to make everything just effortless.
Right.
So I'm attending this event. I look around. Oh, that's what's coming up next. Okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing on these screens that are not actually part of the show, as it were, of itself, of people talking and whatnot, is sponsors. So say you have a certain company sponsoring the lunch break, providing the snacks, providing a coffee cart.
Right.
They get a value add from you by saying, hey, we're going to put your logo on the screen. And so this lunch brought to you by, and then logo.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just things where you can improve the value you're bringing to the sponsor as well. And then when it gets time to say, okay, programming is about to start again, you have a countdown timer. And then it counts down. It's like, oh, I got 5 minutes left. Okay, this is great. Instead of relying on people to look at their watches, find, oh, my phone, where's my phone? What time is it? Where's that little schedule? Again, making the experience effortless and enjoyable. That's it's very intentional. And that's another question when you go to a venue. It's like, how many different videos or things could we program into these screens? How hard is it to change throughout the day? And even the mood, so after all the sessions are done, the menu gets transformed for just like an after party. The graphics change, the music changes. I mean, it's all part of this immersive experience. I don't know. It's cool. I get so excited.
It is cool. Yeah. And you've done some cool stuff.
Oh, man.
Some crazy places.
It just makes me so happy.
Yeah, that's fun. Okay. So, and that was just the look, the feel, the vibe, the user experience. We'll call it UX for events.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's all about customer experience.
I know. I didn't think
you just described it.
I know, but
that's
calling
what
it UX, I feel like that's clever.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's just what people are experiencing, what our customers are experiencing, what our employees are experiencing. There's also a component of it that it's like now the event is starting and here comes this experience that they're going to actually be engaged with, in an event hall. These probably aren't breakout sessions and stuff like that, but within the event hall, there's a show that's going to actually happen. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Yes, this is the next most exciting part. So the people come into the room, and so you have your first speaker. You want to build hype. You want to build energy. Just a single person. There's music.
Sorry,
that's a big part of it.
Is that the right music?
That actually is.
Come on.
I mean,
my European days are coming out, man. I got techno in me that is so deep. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I select your next music?
I like to collaborate with the customer on that if that's okay.
Okay.
But
it probably works out better that way.
It generally turns out well. So you have your speaker coming up. You can have a kind of sizzle intro, kind of laying out what the intent of this event is. So a hype video, as it were, can be really helpful for even just alerting people, hey, the event is starting. It's this video. It kind of draws them in. And that's great. And then for the first person walking on, you can have that walk-on music. And again, I think music is a big part of it. But also, if you want to highlight your keynote or someone speaking, you can bring up an animation of like their headshot with their title that comes up to just have something bigger visually than a single person on a big empty screen, or on a big empty stage, I should say. You have screens with things happening. And another thing we've done for someone, like we've had a keynote who was a professional baseball coach, but maybe not everybody in the audience had heard of him because not everybody's into baseball. But this guy's amazing and impressive. So we had a slideshow style sort of thing, getting people up to speed on how amazing this guy is, kind of documentary style. He's done this and this and this, and now here he is. And so it's almost in some ways taking a cue from sports stadiums, like how they build hype with screens and music and moving animations and things. I think there's a lot of opportunity that is untapped in many events where you can just do those little things that engage people more during that run of show. And that also comes out in breaking up a presentation. If you have a speaker who's speaking for an hour, let's find a way to throw in a couple little videos to help support what they're talking about, to just break it up and keep people from falling asleep. I mean, I hate to say that because, someone could be a great speaker, but it helps. And also even, I've had people come to me and say, hey, I want to put this 13-minute video into my presentation. And maybe that's okay.
Better be really good.
It better be really good. But also, it's like people came here for a live event, not just a video. So it would be good to look at that and say, hey, is there a way we can break that up? Instead of a 13-minute video, have 3-minute, 4-minute videos and, mix it up and make sure it really does go with the flow of what's being talked about. And that's an important thing too. Of course, I'm super pro video. If a video doesn't have a distinct purpose that helps drive forward what's being presented, don't put the video in there just for the sake of having a video. It's just not worth it. Just don't go there.
Don't even go there.
You don't always need a video.
But what you're talking about is you're talking about a show, and I loved your analogy to like sports teams or events. I mean, good events are shows.
Oh yeah.
And they're productions, and you're treating it as such.
Oh, you absolutely have to. Yeah. I mean, and in my mind, and all the events and conferences I've been to, it's like you have most of the time one or two people in this huge room, and those people have to fill that stage with their presence. And just having the video side of that is huge. And another thing that I absolutely love in events we've done where there's an award, and you see this person, and oftentimes it's like I'm thinking certain blue collar type industrial customers who've worked really, really hard, and they're winning like a lifetime achievement award, and they walk up on stage. And there's events where it's like there's a PowerPoint slide with their name and like lifetime achievement award, and everybody claps, and it means the world to that person on stage. But on the audience, they're like, yay. I don't
golf
even
clap. Yeah,
the golf clap. Whereas in introducing that person, what if, and we've done this before, we do just a 3-4 minute documentary style thing featuring that person, showing the heart of what they do, showing, why do they deserve this award?
Right.
And then suddenly everybody in the audience is part of that moment. Like, I am excited with you. Your dad handed down the business to you, and look how you've blood, sweat, and tears made it grow. You've served your customers well. Man, I'm there with you. I'm like almost crying as you receive your award because I know who you are. And video can just be such a powerful tool to bring people into that beautiful celebratory moment of an award that was a really big deal.
Yeah, and human.
Yes.
Yeah, how do we make our events more human? Yeah.
Which is almost a paradox, right? We're going more digital to become more human.
Yeah, I love that.
So
that's so fun. All right, so you've gotten everybody there with video. Video has done everything for this event. Everybody's there because of the video. Everybody's hyped because of the video.
And the music.
Oh, yeah.
Lance's techno.
Yeah, my techno, my beatbox. We can capture that later. And then, we've provided a good show, per se. A good experience for these attendees. We've got more. We've got a lot more that we can do with this event. So maybe we can get into the next steps.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So next steps are looking at what type of event this is and so how do I frame this? Say you have sessions that are really, really valuable to your employees or maybe your customers. Maybe it's not even employees. And it's like, we want to record these sessions for on-demand viewing later. We want to put these into our curriculum that is mandatory for all our employees to watch. We want to record this for people who couldn't make it to the event, but we really want them to know this information. Like, that's just a no-brainer that it's just like, if that's part of what this event is about, let's make sure we do that. But there's beyond that, and I think this is where less people are aware. Do we want to capture fun B-roll? So like we talked about earlier, next year's event, we have more footage to help people see what it's going to be like, or even a background on a website for the event, like showing a reel of what to expect at this event. And even social content, like snippets of, so say your CEO of your company gave this great speech about the future of the industry, and you grab 30 seconds of that, and then you have this little social piece of content of thought leadership, and that's hugely valuable. And why not?
You're there. You got it.
Like, why not do that? And also, like an event highlight video. So after the event, or dare I even say if you do a same-day edit, depending on the nature of the event, the people that are at the event, you want to remind them how great it was. And so say if it's a same day edit, you have a bunch of footage of people smiling and laughing, and we have an editor in the back. So at say 5 p.m. rolls around, programming ends, the cocktail trays, everything comes out, the games, and then we play this video of showing, remember how fun it was today? Wink, wink. We were awesome. You're awesome. Everybody's awesome. You had a great time. You want to come back next year. And just getting that vibe, reminding people. And there's a psychological element to it, but it's just fun. And then a week later, you can send it a video. Thanks so much for coming. It was an awesome year. You made it great. Everything's great. Here's a recap. Or people who missed it, like, check out what you missed out. You want to be here next year. And then, so there's slightly different nuances of what those two videos might look like, where one is more smiling faces and another covers more showing a little bit of the speakers and the actual meat of the event for a later video. And so that part of that is looking at during the event, that can determine how you're filming it. It's like, do I just have a camera in the back on a tripod to capture the whole session for an on-demand thing? Or do I want a fun gimbal moving around getting dynamic shots to put in a little sizzle reel or to put on a social clip? That's another part. Another thing is, so you have this event. You get all these awesome people to attend. Why not take the opportunity where you have access to people that if you wanted to film each of them and like fly around the country to see them, like talk about a budget, you just couldn't do it on, why would you budget that? You have them all in that space. Take the opportunity to do kind of on the street interviews maybe for social content. Or again, you have people together in a space. How can we maximize their presence? So we've done that for one customer, right? We had a list of a couple questions. We went to several industry professionals, just kind of a run and gun style, like, hey, what do you think about the future of this, the state of the industry, what's going on? And boom, there you have content. And your guys who are operating the camera during the session are not just sitting around twiddling their thumbs between sessions. They're grabbing more valuable content for other uses. So again, it's just that mindset of like, how can we maximize our time, get as much value as we can when we have the opportunity?
Brilliant stuff. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
No, this is fun. And you know what? This conversation, it brought me to so many places that we've been over the years and events that you've helped produce and our teams helped put together. And it's just, it's fun. It's a fun time to be doing this sort of work. So thank you so much. And if you're interested in our event checklist, and it's long and helpful, super helpful, if you've got an in-house team and you're looking for something that's going to help you put your next event together, just email us, serviceimpact@outsidecommunications.com, and we'll pass that on to you. It's super helpful. It's something that we use internally as we're prepping for events and getting ready. And if you think that's going to be useful to you, just reach out to us. We'd be glad to share it. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe and leave a review. Your support helps us continue to bring actionable marketing strategies to service businesses around the country. If you have any questions, feel free to email the show at serviceimpact@outsidecommunications.com. You can also find show archives and subscription links at serviceimpact.com. We'll see you next time.